Hello, this is old Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and in my last video I finally got a good shot of me standing on the broken up concrete at the entrance to the Queen Creek Wash so that I could back off and show folks how small I am compared to that huge that huge wash, which is there for flood control. Just in case you haven't been following my videos, here in Arizona we have flash floods, and then off in the distance in the mountains over there, when we have a wet winter, then a lot of water flows down off the mountains and comes down what we call the Queen Creek. And I've got lots of videos where I've filmed down here in the Queen Creek Wash. So I'm going to go up here and park my bicycle, and we're going to take a little flight and look carefully at the broken up pieces of concrete that are in the entrance to the Queen Creek Wash. Because as I went through the history of the Google Earth shots, images they have shot, I saw where it looked like maybe they deliberately dumped in the broken up concrete. Because I have been thinking maybe they built a little dam there or something and it got all broken up. So I really don't have a conclusive answer yet. But anyway, I'm going to show you and let you decide what you think. In the meantime, I'm also going to tell you a little story. So back in, a long time ago, I'll just put it that way, when I had my Cessna 170, and I lived in Pasco, which is in the southeast corner of Washington State. And across the river from Pasco, there's a town called Richland. And then just north of the city of Richland, all right, here I am. I'm coming up to, there's the area down there. We're going to fly and take a look at the broken up concrete, and I'll let you decide whether or not it's broken up for one reason or another. Either they dumped it there or it was part of the construction. So what we'll do is we'll take off and we'll fly and take a look at it. So as I was saying, Richland, just north of Richland, is the HANFORD Atomic Reservation. And it's got a history, and I'll put a link to the history. You might want to take a look at it so you can understand. It's a government property. And if you want to fly over it, you can, but you have to be above 2,500 feet. And I used to fly out over the atomic reactor in the calm day, and it had a big steam plume coming up. And I made a guy sick one time cloud dancing around that steam plume. So here you can look down below here, and you can see where we're going to head. So anyway, I had a friend who worked out there, and one day, and he drove a little VW Bug, and one day while he was at work, somebody stole his little VW Bug. And so he went to my church, and so he asked me, he said, oh, all right, let's take a look at this. Take a careful look at all those broken up pieces of concrete, because I thought maybe it was part of a dam. And then when I look at the Google Earth images, it looks like maybe they dumped them there just to break up the rapid flow of the water. Watch out for those power lines. Yeah. So anyway, by the way, we're going to take a look. Looking down this road, that's Kenworthy Road is what it's called. And that's looking north on Kenworthy Road. And then that used to be just an old dirt farm road, as you'll see in some of the images that I'll show you in a minute here. And then we're looking south on Kenworthy Road. So anyway, it's not possible to go all the way up north and south on this road anymore. So anyway, so he wanted me to do that. So we took off from Pasco, climbed up to about 1,500 feet, flew across the Columbia River over to that area. There was right adjacent to the south of the reservation. Now be looking closely at these pieces of concrete, And do they fit together, or were they just dumped there? See, that one piece on the left looks like it has culvert marks in it, like the dirt does that we'll look at in a minute here. So you take a look at them, and I'm coming to the conclusion maybe that they did build some kind of concrete base for this culvert stuff that you're looking at. So anyway, there was a wooded area between the city of Richland and the boundary of the government property, and of course they had now right there you see there's some culvert marks in the dirt there. They had a fence with barbed wire on the top, like government property does. And so we didn't want to go, we had to drop down to about 500 feet in order to see if we could spot his car. What he thought was maybe somebody stole his car and then drove it into that little wooded area to part it out. So, because they were doing that because it was an old VW. So anyway, they were, parts were valuable. So, oh, and by the way, here I'm heading over, there's some big chunks of concrete on that ledge over there. And we're going to go take a look at that. So anyway, I dropped down to about 500 feet and flew what would be called a north-south grid from the boundary of the reservation. Oh, there goes a little critter, but we're not looking for critters. Anyway, I'd fly south from the boundary over to the edge of the wooded area and then turn around and come back, move over go east or west, I guess it was a little bit, and then fly north towards the boundary and then turn around and fly south, from to the edge of the wooded area. Now there's the broken up pieces of concrete, which that's what, it looks like somebody dumped them there for a reason, and I don't know what they could be used for other than trying to impede the water flow so it wouldn't wash out so much dirt. Well, anyway, so we flew, I don't know, probably 15, 20 minutes over to the edge of the reservation and the government land, and then back south towards the city of Richland and the edge of the woods, and then move over a little bit, to the west, and then start flying slowly north. I put on full flaps. And with a Cessna 170, you can actually get down to about 60 miles an hour. So you have time to look at the ground. He was looking out his window, and I was looking out my window, and we're just staying on track and not paying a whole lot of attention to what was in front of us, except that I was careful not to fly into the reservation. So we're flying back and forth. And now I want you to carefully take a look at these pieces of concrete. Some of those pieces look like they might have cradled a piece of culvert. Look in the dirt over there to the right, and you can see where there was a culvert up against the dirt. And I don't know, maybe they poured concrete and then put the culvert on top of the concrete, because it's pretty obvious there was a culvert right there alongside that dirt. And so take a look and you decide. It looks to me like maybe they were part of something that cradled the culvert. But looking at it when we look at the Google Earth images, you're going to see that it just looks like maybe they dumped a bunch of broken concrete in there to impede the flow. And so where was I? Okay, so we're going back and forth and back and forth. And so there's one time where we're headed south away from the reservation, and we get to the edge of the wooded area, and I make a turn and we start headed back towards the reservation. And right up ahead of us, so maybe a quarter of a mile up ahead of us, there is a military Huey military helicopter adjacent to us, and he's got the side door open, and in that door there's a guy sitting behind a machine gun looking at us. And so I decided, because they had radar and they were tracking us as we went back and forth, And I'm sure they were saying, well, what are those guys up to? Let's go for an airplane ride. I don't know. But anyway, looking at a Huey helicopter with a guy sitting behind a machine gun facing towards you, and he didn't have the gun facing towards us, but it was right there handy. So anyway, we turned around, went home, and we never found his car. So now let's take a look at some of the Google Earth images that I have saved and watch how it happened, how things changed over the years from this being a pecan orchard to being what it is today. All right, here we're looking at a Google image from 1992, and you can see up here in this, this is the Queen Creek wash that I love to fly in. On both sides, these are pecan orchards, and there's no cement mill much there, so this is back quite a ways. But this is looking at it from the east. Anytime you see it like that, that's looking from the east, and this is looking at it from the west. So that's 1992, and there's no road here at this point in time. The farmers have roads around their fields, but that's the best we got. So now this is 2003. In 2003, still have pecan orchard over here, but they're starting to build houses over here, and they have put in a road across here just for use. It doesn't look like it goes on very far, but and then they're excavating this. They're actually making it. They're scooping up the sides, trying to make it make more room for the flooding. And so let's go to let's see, this is 2003, and let's go to, this is looking at it from the west side, so you can see what it looks like from the part where I normally fly, okay? And this is 2004, and you can see that they've got the pecan orchard gone, and they're getting ready to build houses, but here is some erosion. So they had some kind of and this looks like water up here, so they had some kind of a flash flood, or let's see, this was taken in December of 2004, so it's really hard to know what caused that. And now let's go down. This is looking at it from the east side, okay? And so this is Kenworthy Road over here, so the cement guys could go out that way, or they can probably go through here and go take shortcuts that direction to deliver their concrete. Okay, this is 2005, looking at it from the west, and as you can see, there's been a little bit of erosion right here, and some sediment washed out into the basin that they just excavated. This is looking at it from the east, and this is the area where the water comes in, right through here. It comes in from up in the mountains. All right, let's see. And it looks like maybe we don't have a road there anymore. It looks like that road might have got washed out. So let's go to the next one. This is 2006, and in 2006, it looks like maybe they did something to get their road across there, and there might be some erosion there. This is looking at it from where I fly. This is the west side, and this is looking at it from the east side. So, and you know, when I look at this, it looks like maybe they put some culverts in there. Let's go back this way. That might be a culvert that they put in there to keep so they could maintain that road. So let's go to the next one, and here you can see where they've actually made maybe this is the same culvert, I don't know, but they've got the road that you can go all the way up and down here now, and it looks like there's a cement truck heading to the cement over here, the cement mill. So they've got some nice culverts in there, and if we go to this one, you can see it looks like that's kind of it's lighter around there, so that might be concrete. All right, let's take a look at the next. This is 2007. We don't have any more pictures until 2010. So somewhere between 2007 and 2010, they either had a flash flood or they had a very wet winter, and that water came down from the melting snow and came down through here, and you can see pieces. These looks like pieces of culverts that have been washed out, and this is where a bunch of the concrete is that I like to look at when to stand in to show how small I am. And then here this is looking at it from the east, and it looks like this is getting carved out a little more too. There's a little more erosion coming through on this side. So they definitely had some kind of heavy water flow. This is 2011, and as you can see, there's stuff growing here now. So they didn't have a whole over the previous year. They didn't have a whole lot of water flowing through there. Otherwise, you wouldn't have shrubs growing there, or whatever you want to call it, scrub brush. Scrub brush. Anyway, all right, this is 2012. In 2012, it looks like they've got roadblocks right here because there's just not enough road, and it's not safe. And here's the washout, so they could probably come around here and go like this if they wanted. But it's pretty much not passable for normal traffic. Now this is 2014. By 2014, they've had a lot more erosion, and there's a roadblock there, and there's a roadblock there. So at that point in time, they stopped traffic from going back and forth on Kenworthy Road. And there's the main passageway where the water comes through. This is looking at it from the other way, and this is getting deeper and deeper all the time. Okay, we go to 2015. There hasn't been a whole lot of change between 2014 and 2015. They've made little paths to go through everybody on their four-wheelers, but and this is a close-up. 2016, you can see the broken up pieces of concrete down there that we like to look at. And then this is a more distant view of the same thing, 2016. And then we get up to, and this is looking at it from the east. I'm sorry, this is looking at it from the east. So we'll get that out of the way. All right, and then 2017, it looks like they had some erosion. A little bit more between 2016 and 2017. And this is looking at it from the west. This is looking at it from the east. And once again, this is getting cut deeper and deeper all the time. Why it didn't before the Google images showed it, I don't know. But anyway, it's really a lot of water flowing at this point in time. And then this is 2018. This is the latest picture. And this is between 2018 and now, there's been a little bit more washing through there. In fact, I've got a link to an ABC News video of in 2019, of February of 2019, I videotaped the water flowing down through here and rushing through there. And that same month, a young couple tried to go across. Their car got stuck, and they tried to go across, and they almost got drowned. They had to send helicopters in to get them. And so you might want to, I'll put a link to that in the descriptions below. So that's the history of the place I love to fly. Of course, I love to fly anywhere, but this is where it's fun to go fly, and I enjoy it. So I hope this has been a long video. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for watching, and God bless.